Some of the best feedback that you can get as a guitar student is from a coach. And today we're going to take a look at a real student playing, and I'm going to act as the coach. And we're going to kind of critique it and review it and hopefully show you and the student what we can do better. Today's student name is Greg. I've been working with him for a while, and he's totally up for this. And we are going to take a look at his video, and every step I can, I'm going to try and help and get him over some humps that I see, or help with some technique. But let's give it a go. He's jamming over my Jam Blues guitar lesson from 2 weeks ago. All right. First thing I see here, Greg. I love you and thank you for sending this in. Is that bend that we have right at the beginning? He's in an E minor pentatonic. Let me turn my volume up right here. Whoa, was that loud? Okay. That scared me. All right, and he's bending that 4 right here up to the 5. And if I rewind it, we overbent right away. Okay, so very, very quickly, when you're bending, when you're practicing bending, and it's so true, you have to listen for your goals. You're taking this 4 and bending it to a 5. So you want to practice, for a while, just targeting a note, and really knowing that a bend isn't physical based, it's hearing based. You have to know when you're at your goal. And so you want to practice that, because when he came right in with his bend, it was a little too high. It caught me right away. And so, Greg and anyone out there, work on hearing your bends, all right? Because it's not just a technique to do, it's a technique to get you to a very certain note. And it adds tension on the way there, but you still have a goal. So practicing those goals, very important. So I just want to rewind and make sure we caught that. Let's see. Let's rewind there and let's see. Right there is the overbend, okay. Okay, so I'm going to pause you here, Greg. You did this line. Now, you end up playing the 5 here on your very final note. Nothing wrong with your phrase, it's just that the 5, if you watch my, and this is for everyone, The Power of the 5, or any of my blues videos, the 5 is a note that really wants to come home, it wants to move. And so, even though you're hitting it, Greg, like this, like... Right, and I get that. You really, in my opinion, okay, this is my opinion, keep it as a bend. Keep that tension in there. Because that 5 holds a lot of potential energy, and the bend up to it just kind of like increases it, puts a magnifying glass on it. Oh, like, where are we going? Okay, so let's keep on going here. All right, I'm going to rewind that whole phrase. We're going to take a look at that beginning part again. I have a creeping suspicion of something. Okay, now, one thing is make sure, okay, in this whole line, I believe you didn't hit a root note. We're on an E chord. We're on an E. Something like that. It's important to definitely hit the root note of the chord you're on at some point, especially after you came in blazing on the 5, right? You came right in like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. And so if that were me, again, I'm not trying to make you feel like I'm beating up on you. I'm really just giving you some tips on how to get the most out of your soloing. You definitely want to try maybe like hitting that 1 at some point before the chord change. Something like this. Let's see. Okay? Because there was that 1. There was that coming home to the 1 after the 5. And that was really cool, all right? I mean, like, as in, I like the way it sounded, and you might like that sound if you like that. Start with your 5s. It's very, very, common. 4s bent to the 5s, and then come home to the 1 of the chord you're on at some point in time, right? E minor pentatonic, we're playing over an E, You're playing the fourth interval to the 5, that's a B, to the 1 a little bit. Let's see what you do on that chord change for the 4. Excellent. Okay, and that little phrase, I should probably let the whole thing play, and I will. I saw you do the trick where you're visualizing the A chord. There's your A chord, you're in your E minor pentatonic, and when the A chord comes, you say, oh, hey, look, this chord tone is not in my pentatonic. It's an A chord, but it's not my pentatonic. I'm going to lead into it, and that is awesome. Great job, all right? What I did see you do is you kind of went straight up that arpeggio, something like that. And if it were me, I know that when you're trying to emphasize something, or like it's your ending note, if you can get away with it being a bend, it's much better in the blues than just a note. So if you like, that's the same as hitting this note here, but it just has more tenacity, right? And so far, we have coming in on the 5. We're not even close to being done, I'm sorry. Greg, thank you so much for submitting the video. If you're going to come in on the 5, make sure, use it as a bend. Try to hit the 1 after the 5 at some point. On the chord change, did a great job of emphasizing a note that wasn't in our pentatonic, but going towards our chord tone. The only thing I'll say right here is that instead of just fleshing out the chord tones as you see them, practice saying, well, okay, instead of this guy here, I'm going to bend it up from underneath it, all right? I'm going to rewind this whole thing so everyone at home can see the solo again, and I'll play it up all the way through the A. Let's see. Good. Okay. Now, during that little run, right there, and take no offense to what I'm about to say. What I see or what I hear is okay, what am I going to do next type of phrasing here? This might not be what you're doing, but every guitar player I listen to live, I can hear when they're kind of like out of the moment. And it's hard to describe, but there are go-to riffs that all of my guitar players play when they're kind of thinking about what comes next. And it kind of lets their brain, or their fingers, like shut off and their brain get ready for what's happening or what's coming. And this little phrase that you did, I'll repeat it and I'll show you, kind of showed me, okay, like, you know you're supposed to be in the E minor pentatonic, but there's a chord change coming up, so I'm just going to kind of like play what I know that's familiar. And it's that little line that I'll point out that's like the crux of guitar playing. We want to really avoid that. We want to be in charge of our phrasing and our playing as much as possible. Right here. I'll rewind it again. I'll show everyone, like, all this. Okay. What I liked about it, definitely minor third. Right? You had the minor third to the 1, dancing on the 4, but there was no bends. It was all just kind of like playing the piano, like do 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 do. And again, I'm not trying to sound offensive. And again, Greg gave me this video. Hey, what can I do better? And he asked me to share it with the world, so we're doing this. The idea is, on that note, coming back from the A, let's just see what I do naturally to show you. Okay, let's see. This is the E. So, I have a video. Any videos I reference will be linked below in the description box. Right there, what I did is I kind of did that minor third, major third, and then played something with it, and kind of teased that thing again, right there. and I went in a different direction. It kind of gives a theme to that section, but I'm playing one riff that starts with it, and then a second riff that kind of starts with it, but they kind of were separate riffs but had something in common. You got to give your listener in the blues on those 2 bars of E. Okay, the first 4 are E, second 2 are A, and you come back to those 2 bars that are E. If you just kind of noodle there, it's going to sound like noodling if you're not doing the same things all the way kind of through those first bars and second bars. If you have a tight 4 bars in the beginning, a tight 2 bars in the A, and you come back to the E and you're kind of noodling, it kind of like takes the steam out. So what you want to do is like develop a theme rather quickly. I do have an awesome video about developing themes over that moment. It'll be located right here, just about how to survive those 2 bars. Okay, so let's keep on going. Nice. Okay. Okay, awesome. That was great. That turnaround, right? You had the B chord tones. Then you have the G, A. Great. Okay, that was awesome. All I can say here is that they were a little staccato, and if you want them to be, they kind of were like where you're either letting go of the pressure of that left hand or the pick. You kind of want to practice your legato, like if you want to. It's a smoothness. That video will be linked below. Right? That's all I can suggest there. That last part, you know, there's that 5 again that you ended on. You ended on the 5. That's a tension note. And you went like that. If I had my druthers, you know, something like that. There's another 4 to the 5. You know, you don't want to just play the 5, blink, right? You want to like play the 5. Okay, let's keep going. Nice. All right, Greg, really cool. Grabbing an E chord. Very cool. All right. My only suggestion. Oh, you can hear my computer's firing up because I'm probably using the CPU a lot. My only suggestion on that part, maybe, you know, which you kind of did. All I was doing is grabbing an E. I kind of put this D in here. It's the E7 chord. You know, if you're playing E7, there's that. So, you know, instead of having 4 of the same chord, which it did sound nasty. I'm not lying. I loved it. If you want to enhance that, get that little flat 7 there. Now, we do have a chord change coming up, and I think right before the chord change, you kind of... You did something like that. Let's rewind, take a listen. That's great. You have a chord change coming. You signaled with a different rhythm. That was tight. Let's see. Okay, and so I think what happened here is great. It sounds great. Is that then there was a little bit of a stumble, and there's nothing wrong with that. Come on, you watch StichMethod. I stumble all the time. I think that what that was, and it could be anything. I'm trying to get in the mind of Greg here, which is it could have been that sounded so good, and there were, you know, those staccato E chords, and all of a sudden you got to come out of it. So there's a lot of pressure on you to come up with a line that sounds different, leading into the chord change, which is in the video I just released. You know. So just a little bit more confidence in your picking, maybe, and also really practicing that moment. You know, practicing changing your rhythms before the chord changes. It takes a lot of time to get comfortable with being in the moment. The attempt was awesome. I'm just going to say, like, I heard a stumble, and that's okay. But what I will say, I think let's see what note you went to before I say anything. Let's just see what note you went to there. Great. The last several bars were awesome. All right, you're in the flow. Maybe like the first part, you just started, and then by the time you wanted to end the video, you really warmed up. But everything looked really good. My advice for you definitely is incorporate more bends. Don't like bend all the time, but I have a video about bending in the blues. It'll be located here and also in the description box. Now, if you guys like this, by the way, this is part of it's one tier of my Patreon where people can send me videos and I critique them. I don't do them like this. I do it privately for you, but you can always all the patrons, you can always say, hey, you can use this, and I will if you at home like this type of stuff. And so, Greg, right now, a couple things that I didn't discuss is rhythm. All right. Now, a lot of the rhythms here in the playing were very momentum based. Do da da do da da ba da ba da ba ba do do da, and you kind of had that kind of ticking clock in that right hand. Nothing wrong here, but you really want to work. Everyone wants to work on diversifying their rhythms as much as possible. I have videos linked below about rhythm stuff in the blues, and it is so important. But you want to practice, triplet, 16th notes. 1E and a 2E and a 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 swing. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. You had a lot of swings in there, and that's fine. But you really want to, as I say, crack the glow sticks of your rhythm, and so that when you're practicing them, you're practicing all different types. You can stop them, start them. You don't have to do a complete 16th note rhyme. You can do 1E and a 2, triple, and stop. And you really get good at that phrasing. So overall, like, really great playing, Greg. I've been working with you for a while, and you've come like a really long way, and I can't thank you enough for letting me kind of critique this, and I hope that it wasn't too harsh and that you like what I did live for the world. But remember a couple things I said. Bends, definitely from 4s to 5s, right? In that little sticky section on bars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bars 7 and 8, that double E bar, you got to develop a theme rather quickly, right? And everything else I said, I'm trying to remember everything else I said, but if you feel that your playing is similar to this, take these notes and try it out. Thank you so much for being here on a kind of cool, like, special episode of StichMethod. If you're interested, again, this is one of my Patreon tiers, but I'll stop talking and I'll have practice sessions for this. I'll show you what I mean if you're a Patreon member. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.